Yeah, we're gonna reach for the starlight. Oh, when you're next to me, like a legend, make it iconic. We ain't gonna stop till the sunrise, make it iconic. Make it iconic. Welcome to Legends.
And I must say, it's really a legend for me now because he interviews some legends on her Roxcast. And here, introduce yourself. Here it is.
Yeah, I am Sam Valenti, and I am the host of the only podcast that talks about, in my opinion, the greatest pop rock duo of all time, Roxette, the Roxcast. It's a lot of fun doing it. It honestly, whenever I record an episode, it gives me a lot of joy. And just, obviously I've been incredibly lucky to talk to some amazing people on my podcast. It's truly incredible, whether it is the legend himself, Per Gessle, Helena Josefsson, Staffan Overman. I've been incredibly lucky to have those people on. But also I really just love talking with fans. I think that is truly amazing because I'll tell you this, man,
Yeah.
every Roxette fan has their own unique story, and each fan has contributed, to the whole story of Roxette as a whole. Just wonderful community of people, and I'm glad now to, I guess, be a very small part of that. It's a lot of fun, and I'm just glad that I found their music this year because it's the best music I've ever heard. So, yeah, but it's a lot of fun.
I couldn't agree more. Really, best music ever. That's really true. The two made made music over the last decades. It's incredible. The world tour and stuff, and wow, and you say the right word, unique. Every fan has a unique story, and that is the really great point of it. So, how was it for you to become a Roxette fan? I mean, this is for that's a really the legendary band. How you became a Roxette fan in the first place?
Well, I'll tell you what, Ollie, it's a funny story. I was in the car listening to the radio. This was I want to say it was, May, I believe, of this very year, and the look came on the radio. It was just like, here in the States, sometimes we got, classic 80s, 90s, radio stations, playing that music. Well, the look comes on the radio, and I just thought, holy crap, this song is really freaking cool. And I'll be honest, I'd never heard a Roxette before that. I had never heard the look before. I mean, I definitely heard It Must Have Been Love, I will say that, but I didn't know it was by Roxette. I heard that song, so I have Shazam, in case I ever want to find it, see it, oh, who made this song? So I put on Shazam, and then it brings up Roxette, and I was like, this is like really cool. I downloaded it to my Spotify, and I started listening to it over and over again. Like I couldn't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
Like, this song was amazing. I love it. And then, I just kind of started, going deeper into the catalog of Roxette. Like, it started, then I'm starting to listening to Joyride, and then It Must Have Been Love, and then Listen to Your Heart. Then I'm listening to Fireworks, and, just all these other songs. And it just,
Wow.
it just kind of, it was just like a big snowball. And,
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. When you listen to the first album, you listen to the second, and that is so. Yeah, it is so. Like a snowball, you say. Yeah, you cannot not stop listening to music because the listen would become better over track by track so far, and that is really, really amazing. Yeah. And there's a really funny story, but you use Shazam, the app. That is, by the way, a good thing. When I've searched for a song or so, I use Shazam too. It's a great app, by the way, to
Nice.
find a song. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, And this works really great because they find really everything so far. When I was looking for a song, that's really great. And you live in USA, and you have a really different life, because here in Germany. Tell me a little about your life, what you do, and so far every day.
All right. Yeah, of course. So living in the States, it's it's interesting. Right now, the state of the States, in my opinion, and I consider myself very lucky to live here. I think it's, I live in a very wonderful place, but it's obviously not perfect here, and it hasn't been for a good while. I will say this, there's a lot that needs to be worked on here in this country. I think a lot of people you hear in the States, we can all agree on that. There's a lot of work to be done. But yeah, I'm still, at the end of the day, I'm very thankful to say that I live here. It's a great, really pretty cool place to live. I go to college right now, and
wow.
Yeah, which is, like I was saying earlier, I'm sure, I'm sure you people in Europe, I believe you say it's more, you're more like, oh, I'm going to university.
Yeah, well, university. Yeah.
More like, we're going to college. So, but I am majoring in journalism, but it's actually specifically sports journalism. I want to go into broadcasting sports. So,
you're really sport fan. Yeah, I saw it on your Instagram. Yeah, that's true.
I love sports. My two greatest loves right now are sports and Roxette. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's where it's at. But yeah, I'm trying to go into like the broadcasting stuff, and really, the starting this podcast, I've really enjoyed it because, I would still consider it, it's kind of, it's kind of like doing a broadcast, and I think it's still kind of like doing journalism stuff, doing interviews. But it's something different from sports, which I have never really branched out much into music or any other things. It's always just been sports, for me. So doing this, and just kind of the idea coming into my head to start the podcast, I'm really thankful that it did.
Yeah.
Because this is what I'm enjoying the most out of anything I do. So it's a lot of fun. It's a fun little passion project that I do,
Yeah, but it's really interesting. Sport and Roxette is a good combination. When here in TV station came football or so, and they use some Roxette track to play it. Is in USA the same? That you saw on TV football and stuff, and came a Roxette song maybe?
Yeah, that's let's see. I don't think a Roxette song is come on. Well, I'll say this. I will say this though. I was watching a Netflix show the other day. I was watching with a couple of my friends, Connor and Diego, and we were watching this show called Cobra Kai. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it or any.
I heard the name.
Any
from
listeners know what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a show based on the Karate Kid movies, that were really big in the 80s. But a scene in the show comes on, and Listen to Your Heart starts playing.
Yeah.
And that was when I was, when I heard that, I heard the first, note, of the song. I leapt up. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So that, yes. Yeah. I did hear that. I haven't heard really Roxette played at any sports events yet. But I will say that, and that was really cool.
Yeah, that is the really great, fun moment, and epic, would I say. Yeah, that's true. What Roxette album is your favorite from the Roxette era?
That's a very good question. It's also a hard question because, it's just, it's like, I almost like all of their albums, it's just, I love so many songs from those. But I would actually have to say my favorite is Crash Boom Bang. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's I'm pretty sure a lot of people would probably say probably Joyride, and then some other people probably say Look Sharp.
Look Sharp, yeah.
Yeah, and those are amazing albums, by the way. Like I said, I love pretty much everything, but Crash Boom Bang is my favorite. Just so many great songs. You start off with the Harleys and Indians. You got Lies. Do you want to go the whole way? The title track is just beautiful. There's just so many, I think, really standout songs. Fireworks, just so many real standout songs on that album that I adore a lot. And oh, I love the sound of crashing guitars. Very underrated Roxette song in my opinion. That's a favorite of mine. So
Wow.
yeah, Boom Bang, that's probably my favorite.
Wow, that is really, really, wow. This is a great, yeah, wow. What you say is it's amazing. But it's for me, over the years since become a Roxette fan, is for me, you can listen every Roxette song. It's not so you cannot listen every track. Is this by you the same? That you can listen every song?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I can listen to just every song every day and I really can't get tired of it. I think that's something special about their music is that I find myself listening to their music every day
Mm.
and I don't get tired of it. I truly can listen to it on the daily. I think that speaks volumes about the magic that Per and Marie created is
Yeah,
that people
yeah.
to this day can just listen to it and just kind
Mm.
of all the time.
Yeah, that's true. They have a kind of magic in it, yeah. And for me, it's just so every Roxette song is from the real life. Have you the same feeling?
Yeah, and I would say that's another really really great thing about their music is that it's is that I think you can apply a lot of their songs to your daily life, and I think that a lot of people
Hmm.
can relate to the music,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
for like different moods, and stuff. You can like put on different songs, and I think that's another very special thing about Roxette's music.
yeah. They play songs from the life itself. That was my feeling over the last decades, and even today, I say that is my feeling. That is the life itself they sing in, and they sing in between people and problems and laugh, hurt and stuff and so. And I think that is a really magic thing that they have to write the songs to the real life and what life what we have, or maybe you have the issues in your life, So it's for me, what is all over the decades, and that's really, really amazed me all the time because when I listen, for example, tourism, when I heard today the song, for example, "Never is a long, never is a long time goodbye."
Yeah.
When I listen the song today, and I say, yeah, this is true, because in the past I would say I celebrate the song, but today I say, yeah, that is the real life, you know,
Yeah.
and this is for me is the song a really great help to when I lost people in my life that I really care about, that helped me really much, and that is so, and I have today another feeling because Marie's not here anymore, bars, and have today another feeling, by not by every track, by some songs I have a different feeling, because I think I would say uh, that Marie have a bright view on the future, that she have maybe issues in her life or so, and she's seeing some issues in these songs that she have later in her life, and that is for me was this feeling. So when, for example, the track "She's Not Here Living Anymore," and I related to Marie this song today, not just a party song. That is for me now a Marie song, because it is true, she's not here anymore, and that is the song to say the song too, you know, and that is wow, it is really wow. And when Marie died, the first thing what I ever say to this, I say, oh no, never again in the areas, in the halls, came the voice and I say, listen to your heart. That's my first feeling as when she left us, and I say, wow, wow, that is so unfair. Marie proved on her fight, that that every person can fight this and can further live after this, and she have definitely deserved forever, because she proved that, she proved that. What is your feeling about Marie? Tell me.
Marie, Marie was a freaking legend. She was, I mean, I'll be honest, in my opinion, she is one of the absolute greatest vocalists in the history of pop music. Just straight up, in my opinion, I think, especially here in the States, she is severely underrated. And I mean, obviously, I think she gets her due credit in Sweden, in Europe, and I think she gets recognized a lot more. Here in the States, I mean, I would say most people, and I've met people here, who do know Roxette, which is nice, but they know like really just the four main U.S. number ones. It Must Have Been Love, The Look, Listen to Your Heart, Joyride, and they just kind of know those couple songs. Really when you dig deep into the Roxette catalog, I think that's truly when you see the magic of Marie, and you see her voice, and she can. And the amazing thing is how versatile she was. She could pull off these incredible, powerful ballads, but at the same time, in the same album, she could be rocking out. She could be rocking out like Joan Jett or something. Stuff like that. So, just truly one of the greatest performers of all time, who definitely, like I said, gets her due credit in Europe and around Scandinavia and stuff. In America, though, from what I've seen, I think she absolutely deserves more credit, and she needs to really be placed in that top tier of just the greatest of all time singers.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's what she is. I'm telling you, that's what she was.
Yeah, but Roxette have in the USA a success too. When you look at in the history, they have really a success in the USA, and Europe, is really really the most. But in the USA, they have success too. That's true. But I think she's gone, and that is such a tragedy, more for the band and Marie's family as more fans, So. And I say that to Helena when I made the interview with Helena. I say to Helena before in the interview, the loss is for you guys more hurting us for us fans. And she say, no, it's just the same. I said, no. You guys have so many tours and days with her, and we have only concerts and CDs and stuff, and singles and of course digital Spotify and stuff for today, So, and that is, I really miss her with every day. I say to me, it is unfair she win the fight after her bad issues, and she win this, and she have definitely deserved to live forever or to live to be 100 or stuff, and it's so deeply in my heart that it's a really heart broken for me. And Roxette is a really part of my life, of my whole life, the ever day, and when Marie came sick in the past, and I say no, that this cannot be happened, this not can be happened, this is unfair, and she was go out the public. And in 2011 they came back. 11 came back, and I say, yes, they came back, and wow, and the comeback was really huge, and I think that Per and Marie never expected huge fans loyalty on this, And this was my experience on this. And then 2011 came out Scam School, and every person say to me, speak to me, the best flow remix is better as the original one. But I like both. What is you? Would you say Speak Flow or the original version from Speak to Me?
That's actually a really good question. That is really, really good. Yeah, because I like both.
Me too.
I'll yeah, I like you know what, I'll say it's I will give you this answer on I think for me it's kind of one of those things where it's like on a certain day I'll like the remix, but on another day I'll like the original. So it's like it's a bit too hard, you know, to pick those.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I'll say this, you know, that album I think was a truly wonderful comeback album,
Yeah.
really, you know. And but my favorite track on that album is probably Way Out. I really
Oh
adore that.
yeah.
That was
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I just it just I don't know, there's something almost with a sort of a nostalgic feel whenever I listen to that song, and it's
That's true.
it
Yeah.
pulled off really well, you know. So, but yeah, that's a great album, and it was yeah, and I think that album is very underrated in terms of when you're looking at the whole catalog of Roxette. I mean that has
Hmm.
some really good ones. You know, like Dream On. You know, no, She's Got Nothing On is a very popular one.
Hmm.
Big Black Cadillac. I really like that one. It's kind of a funky little song, but I enjoy it. There's a lot of fun tracks on that album.
Yeah. It's just like they made the second beginning on this album. It was for me. It's just like a second area. You know, they created new and knew the band, and was so just like a new beginning. So, and this was yeah, it's really different. Yeah, it's really different this time. And actually, I was at a concert there as Marie collapsed on the stage, and I can say you, nobody speak a word, was silence at all, was really silence at all on this day, and I don't know, not everyone say a word. That she collapsed and we was all silent, and it was really heartbreaking to see this. This was before she's sitting on the concert, the last, and I must say to you, I really never forget that. I was in the middle on the stage, and on the front stage, and I can say you, oh my God, I was so hurting. I say no, that cannot be happen. That is, you know, just like the feeling and say to me unfair, you know, and I really never forget that. That is really heartbreaking. And Per came after they're on the stage and say, it's ended today, please go home and we take care of Marie and she will be good, I promise. And after that we go all home. And I was not actually traveled to home because some Roxette fans tell me they left after the next morning the city, and I was sleep in a hotel and to see Marie or no gonna plane or something. We not see everything but Per so wink to us, and well, it's okay, you know. So I had the feeling, you know, to do something for Marie on this evening and this morning. So I will stay on the city, you know, and I never forget that day. It was horrible. It was really horrible. And I say to me, no, please not Marie. She have so bad issues over the years, and that cannot be happening, you know. So this was really overwhelming for me, and I need really weeks to progress this. You know, you stay on the middle of the station. You saw it with your own eyes. You know, it's really
Right.
you need time to take in. That is a lot, you know. So that is, I never saw that like that before, you know, and that was really heartbreaking. Oh, we have 10. So sorry, we have 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes, I sent you a new link, by the way. So it's 10 minutes.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
that's it's here, limited. What I say to you is for me, you know, I never can imagine that this happened. Some person or something, you know, that it was really heartbreaking. And I really say to me, when she made the concert further, I hope she will be fine. and she's not, and the concert is ending too soon, and their world new tours queues soon ending, and I say, no, that's unfair, So, and yeah, and they made the life traveling the world. That's a really great album. Do you know that our work title of traveling was tourism too?
Oh yeah, yeah. Traveling. Yeah, that's I think that's another one that does not get a lot of credit. I think in the Roxette catalog. I think not many people really mention that. But it's funny that we just had we just had the 30th anniversary of tourism
Yeah.
this year. So yeah, and I was it was funny. I was just thinking about traveling the other day. I was just thinking to myself, it was kind of a fun, like I think, like you just said, a fun sequel. All those years later to tourism.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of really just kind of nice hidden gems in there. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll tell you this, one of my favorite songs on that, it's this re-recording of Stars, which is on
Oh
Have a
yeah.
Nice Day. That was on Have a Nice Day originally, but then I think they did like some sound check. The version on Traveling, that's probably my favorite version of that song. I think I think that's taken to a whole other level. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you mentioned that. Very underrated.
Yeah, I have really the same feeling. That's my favorite track of all time from this album. You have the same feeling because they bring on the stars on the next level and become epicer and more legendary. I have the feeling. This is right what you say. Absolutely, absolutely, definitely. Really, stars on that album track. Yeah, wow, really a blast. And when you hear this live on the live traveling album, it's a blast too.
Oh
Really,
yeah.
really, really, that is really a blast. When she sing that live. And that is really. Yeah, I don't know why Per called this album traveling. I think tourism too would yeah, that would become a better title of. But I understand he say traveling was the world tour. So yeah, it's okay, But that's true what you say. Stars is really the noticed and notable track on this album. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like you say, is next level, really next level and more epic in this. I like the original Stars, but this version is better. That is really better. I don't know how they do that, but it's so. You know. It's really better. I don't know. When I heard it first, it was on the same year, and I listened to the whole album, and I was stars. I pushed the repeat button, and I saw her over and over and over again. So this was my stop on the album. I understand you are feeling too, man, and it's really yeah, of course, that's really better, of course. Mm. Have you listened? So no, not listen. Have you read it Marie's biography book?
Unfortunately, actually, what? It's funny you bring that up because I want to say there's an English version coming out like next year. I think I heard that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been able to read it because obviously, I would need the help of a translator, to help understand it, and I would have to learn Swedish. Unfortunately, I don't really know any. I'll work on it at some point, but yeah, I haven't been able to read it, but I'm very excited to whenever I can get my hands on the English version.
Hmm.
I heard that will be coming out next year, so I will definitely be reading it. Absolutely.
I give you advice when you read it. You heard Marie and every side, and she's present. You heard her every side on the book. That is my advice to you when you read it. Prepare for that, and it's really emotional, really really emotional.
Yeah, I've heard from a couple of people who have read it, and they've said, it's a very good book, but it's very emotional, and there are some definitely parts that are kind of hard to hard to read, but I'm really looking forward to reading it, and definitely learning more stuff about Marie than I already know.
Yeah, absolutely. When you created your podcast, you say you heard my interview with Helena before, but it's a really honored that you hear that. How you find my interview, by the way, and how you used this to create your podcast. And tell me, that's a really
Right, yeah.
interesting story for me.
Yes, of course. So I was, when I was able to get Helena on the Roxcast, I immediately, and I do this with most people that I, interview, and I was doing this with Perry, just like a couple weeks ago. But I was trying to find interviews with Helena, and she mostly does interviews in Swedish, so I was happy enough to find one that was done in English. So it was really helpful, So I was just like listening to just how the interview was going and stuff. I was just listening to how it was done, just kind of listening for Helena, seeing what she's talking about, just kind of like taking it all in, just so I know kind of how to do it and stuff. But it was, it was really helpful because it was really well done. You were able to really connect with Helena, and that,
Oh yeah.
I was like, that, when I'm listening to it, I'm like, okay, that's what I got to do. I got to, I really want to connect with Helena, when I'm doing my show, because you did that very well. So, but it was a very good listen. And, I would highly recommend, of course, anyone to go listen to that episode, because it's really well done. You're, like I said, you're able to connect with her, very well, and you guys cover a lot of interesting topics. So it's a really well done stuff. It was definitely very helpful for when I interviewed her.
That is really, really for me amazing that you find it and that you listen it and you use it for your Roxette cast. That's really amazing. Thank you so much. That is really
Of
good.
course.
Really good. And you have to say the right thing. A really great connection to her because she was over the years. I think she's underrated because she.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
she was a back voice, back vocals on the tour over the last years, and I say to me, yeah, ask her, and I write her before, and yeah, she actually gave me a power boost when she won on tour with Per Gessler's Roxette, and she sang "Listen to Your Heart." I have the DVD and the song from her and with Per, she sing "Listen to Your Heart" gave me so much power to made further on the very dark point in my life, and so really this was the connection to her I have, and I tell her the story about the mine, and yeah, with this really great connection, and she's really amazing. She's an awesome person and really natural person. She's not so prominent person, and she posted this on Instagram. She's like a natural person, and that's really that really great thing, and that's because I like her, and she's was so kind to me. We emailed so many times before, and then we have later on other platforms to communicate it, and every message from her I have thankful at, and I have so much gratitude. She take a time and stuff, and she, I'm thankful for every word that she write to me or wrote to me, whatever. And that is so, I'm really thankful. And I say that to her in every message. I say to her, thank you that you have take your time or that you read it or something. I think it is a great thing to say, I'm so thankful. Yeah, that is for me, she's so beautiful, and she sing in the interview for me parts of "Listen to Your Heart" because I asked her about it, and then she made it, and I was so touched, that she sing a little from "Listen to Your Heart," and this was really epic. I sent you this after this. Can you listen the whole talk, not the interview? I sent you. Can you the whole talk? After that, then you can hear before we talk. our new podcast. And by the way, I'm Saturday by you, and I not can wait to join you on the Roxcast. I can't wait.
Of course, yeah.
Not can
We'll be
wait to
talking
that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to save. I was gonna say we should talk about Pop-Up Dynamo, but we'll save that. We'll save that for the Roxcast.
Okay. Yeah, that would become epic when we talk about it. I'm not can wait to you talk about it. And yeah, this first time I become a guest on an international podcast. I'm so happy, really. That's really great. Yeah, and when you created your podcast, you say before you made interviewed fans too. How came you the idea to invite some fans and to talk about it? What's your first idea?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. It came about because if now just let me check. I want to make sure I'm getting this right, but I had a first guest on the show, and it was I just got to make sure again I'm getting this right.
No
But I
problem.
believe it was a fan of Roxette who's here in the States. This guy named Brian Dunn. He's a Roxette fan, but he worked at one of the Roxette concerts. This is when Roxette performed in Texas on their Join the Joyride tour. But he was like working the show, was like an usher and stuff. And I just randomly found out that he talked about it on his Facebook. So I just kind of, I just messaged him. I said, hey, I just started this Roxette podcast. You wanna come on? I think you'd be a really cool guest to have on. Talk about your experience working, the show and everything, seeing them in concert, and being a fan. So, he came on. It was great getting to talk to him. Super nice guy. I mean, he also makes music too, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of started from there. And then, I got into interviewing, Patricia and Thomas from, the Roxette blog and Daily Roxette, and those who are very well known within the community. But all the while I'm doing this, and obviously the great thing about Patricia and Thomas is that, at heart, they're just fans too. And as I'm doing this, I was just like, wow, I started to realize, like I just said earlier here on the show, every Roxette fan has their own unique story.
Yeah.
And, they have their own connection. They have their own favorite songs, their favorite albums, their own experiences, seeing them in person or getting to meet Per and Marie, all these unique experiences that just, I think every fan has with them. So when I was starting it, I was originally, because the first two episodes are literally just pretty much look backs at the look and listen to your heart. Those were the first two episodes. I was just going to do a podcast, just kind of going through all the songs. That was originally how I was going to do it. But then as I got into doing more of the interview stuff, that's what it's become more. It's about, and obviously it's really fun to talk to the people, who've been within Roxette and been in the band and stuff. And that is, I mean, it's truly amazing.
Yep.
But honestly, one of my favorite parts is interviewing the fans and getting to have the fans share their stories. That is such a thrill for me. And, just getting to hear about them, make connections with all these different people from around the world.
Yeah, around the world, really.
Truly lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot. I tell you, man, it's a lot of fun. And I think it just shows what a wonderful, positive community that the Roxette fan base is, because it's truly a wonderful group.
Yeah, and you give the fans the option to tell the story, and I think that is a major reason, and it's really is so, because many fans have really different stories with Roxette, and some read it from fans, they have the Roxette music on when they play and when they have a emergency in a hospital or so, or operation or something, and that is incredible that the people say play Roxette in their background from our operation. So I can do this, and this really, wow, it amazed me all the time, really. And on the point, Daily Roxette and Planet Roxette made a great job. And I would what to say on this point, they made a great job. I really loved both and the blog and this website. And Planet Roxette was really for me a first to see to have every lyrics. I saw looking for the lyric. Was Screen of Rain? No. I mean, I think or Scam School, something like that. And I find Planet Roxette, and they have every lyric, and that's cool. Wow. And I say that's really, really great, and they made a great job, really, for the Roxette fan base, and they're so huge and still are, and that's the really reason because that still are existed, and I believe when 100 years over and Roxette is still there, because the music is here and it's for eternity. So, you know what I mean? That is the timeless classic, And it's for me too. When I listened Roxette's album or single or track, it's for me like a first time. You can enjoy it every day new, and that is really, really epic. Is this by you so that you say I enjoy everything every day new?
Yeah. It's just that's the that's the amazing thing. I really I really I really like what you were saying about there, how how you could be going in for like a tough thing like an operation, you can be just listening you can be listening to their music. I mean, that's
Incredible.
I mean, I'll be honest, man, that's how I feel when I'm going to college, because college ain't easy, man. In college, it's not an easy thing. We gotta wake up early, you gotta go to classes and all this stuff. There's a big social aspect. It's it's not an easy thing. So, when I'm listening to Roxette's music, a lot of times, I mean, it just gives me this great feeling inside. It gets me up in the morning. If it's I tell you, man, there's nothing that quite makes me happier just walking around on a bright afternoon and I'm playing June Afternoon. It doesn't matter what month it is.
Yeah.
That's because that's one of my favorites. Is that like June Afternoon? Yeah, even though it's not June right now, I'm still gonna play it. Yeah, just really any that song, I just put it on and just fills me a lot of times just with just great happy thoughts. And I think that's I think that a lot of the fans, I'm sure, feel that way. Just a lot of positivity, which I think we need more in the world
right now. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, our world is really crazy right now.
Yeah, it is. It's things are not perfect. Let's just say that. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So I'm really glad that I found some good music to listen to. And I couldn't be more happy that I found Roxette. Because it's the music is just really just whenever I'm feeling down. It gives me a good feeling. So I'm really truly thankful.
Yeah, and for me, it's this really to change my life. The songs from Roxette, and they teach me about life and about myself, and I'm really thankful for it. I'm not a person today without the music. That's true. So many songs tell me the truth about my life or my character. So I will learn from that point, and I'm really thankful. That is so really, and when I hear all the fans, they have so many unique stories. Even in a hospital, they have a Roxette music. I'm gonna say, wow, that's incredible, and they made it because of the music. And you can't. That is the proof. They in coma, and they listen. Obviously, the music too. When they in a coma, and they can do this because of the music, and that is wow, really. Amazes me all the time when I read some story, and wow, really. Have you the DVD from the life traveling with the documentation from Roxette?
I wish I had those DVDs. I don't have any Roxette DVDs. Unfortunately, I wish I did though. I would, if I did, I would be making sure all my friends were watching them. But yeah, I don't think I've seen that one yet. Yeah, what's it all about?
That is a documentary they recorded on the world tour, and it calls where its start walls begin and ended. And it's a really heartbreaking documentary too, because Maria tells from her bad issues and her fate and so, and it's really emotional. And I will send you this. Can you watch it before we made the interview? You must definitely watch the documentary, and you have
I
to.
sure will. Absolutely.
That is really for you. You need this to see that, because that's really where, Marie's sitting there, and you see her when she has a big face, and because of the cancers, and you saw her, and she sitting with her husband, and say she on this point she never really expected to survive this, and it's really heartbreaking, And when you must definitely watch it before we make the interview. It's really, you must see this. It is really a great documentary, and the album is because it's one of the last concerts from the tour, and on a set list so many tracks: Silver Blue, Listen to Your Heart, Fading Like a Flower, and that is a really great point. What I say, Fading Like a Flower, they give me every time when I hear it so much power.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's really,
absolutely.
yeah, that is so. You hear it, and you hear the intro from the track, and then the guitar and the Marie's voice, and wow, give a huge support, and this is really really amazed me all the time. And when they singing that live, that is the traveling, wow, when this is really different. And I really love from this live track album, from the live traveling the world, Listen to Your Heart, because it's really long, and Marie put it really long, over nearly 7 minutes, and that is a really, gosh, really that is, and that is for me, and I say this a famous song from Roxette. You agree too? Listen to Your Heart. There's this famous song from Roxette.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I say really everyone, when you say to the people, do you know Roxette? And they say, oh, is this band would Listen to Your Heart? And you say, yeah, this the band, So that was really a huge track over the world. And like my feelings first when I heard Marie's No More with us. And I say, no more Listen to Your Heart in the hall, in the area. And this was really, for me to say, wow, yeah. That was really heartbreaking, and I realized she's gone. It's almost 3 years ago, and I say to me, wow, the time's running so fast, And I think I would say, wow, this cannot be real, but it's real, So that is it's really really yeah. Really change, really huge change, what I say. When you created the Roxette cast, how you came the idea for the name, and have you other names for it, or was this your first idea?
Yeah. So the name, that was the one thing that came to mind. It was pretty simple, just rocks and cash, podcast. So it just made sense, and I just kind of ran with it. It was the first thing came to my mind, and nothing else, came to mind. I'm sure that there are other pretty cool names I could use, but I like the Roxcast name,
Yeah,
simple and to the point, and you kind of know what it's about, as soon as you read the title. So it's simple and effective. So I like it.
definitely, really epic name, and you have the first idea, and it's the best. Yeah, of course, man, really. How was this for you when you made the first interviews? Have you Was for you easy? Was hard? Was you nervous or something?
Well, that's a really good question. I feel like I've definitely gotten more comfortable. Doing interviews. As it's gone on. I was definitely when I'm recording those first interviews. Just with people like Patricia and like Thomas.
Yeah.
It was like, oh boy, it was kind of, I was somewhat nerve wracking, because I'm like, okay, I'm putting this out into the world. I just want to make sure I'm doing a good job, and that,
Mm.
I want to make sure that these really great people, like Thomas and Patricia, who are just, I mean, shout out to them. They do amazing work.
Mm.
It's just keeping fans informed, and stuff, and they do their own interviews with Pear and stuff, and a lot of the other guys, and I mean, they do amazing work. So just shout out to them. But I was definitely nervous just even talking to them. I just want to make sure they're well represented on the show
Mm.
and whatnot. But as it goes on, I've gotten more comfortable. I've gotten into more of a
Mm.
of a routine. I think I would hope to think that my interviewing skills have gotten just a teeny bit better, but
Yeah.
but it's but it's fun. I love doing. I absolutely love doing it.
Yeah.
I will say, I was most nervous talking before I talked with Helena, when I was talking with Stefan, and obviously Pear. Gosh, I was super nervous.
Yeah.
I was shaking almost before
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
I was talking with him. But when I'll say this about all the people I've interviewed. All of them are wonderful people. Like Pear. Just, I mean, the amazing thing about him is that he's a freaking rock star. When you're talking to him, he's just a normal, cool guy. Cool.
Yeah.
And then Stefan as well, super, super cool, super nice. And then Helena, Helena is just one of the sweetest, most wonderful people you'll ever get to talk to. So just wonderful people all throughout. And then and then just again, just every fan I've been able to talk to, every single fan, and I definitely intend on talking to more fans. They're just all wonderful. So
Yeah.
just I love it, and let me just make this very clear here. The podcast, it's not about me. It's about Roxette. I'm just the guy who just hosts the
Hosted
thing.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just the host. It's not the show is not about me. It is about the music. It's about the people in Roxette. It's about the fans. It's about the wonderful Roxette community, and I'm a very, very small part of that.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about just the wonderful Roxette community as a whole. And I just thought
Mm.
it'd be a good idea to bring it to light, and make sure just so more people know about it. So
Yeah. Really, guys, listen to Roxette Cast on Spotify, on all platforms. It's very available. Listen to it. Listen to it. I will say to you, advice, make your interviews on YouTube too. I think that is a great for you thing to do. I think that would be really cool.
I do have them all. I got them all recorded on my computer. So maybe one day I will put them up on YouTube. Perhaps that might be a good idea. I've been thinking about it for a while. So that is definitely, I would say, a possibility in the future.
Yeah, I will definitely say that this would be really good for you. I don't think the people would like it what you talk about. When I listened to the interview with Helena from you, I love the part when she tell about about the tour and stuff, and she was pregnant and she is eating the celery and where you get the hot dog. This was a really great story.
That was my favorite part too. Yep, my favorite part as well. Yep.
And Marie say, "Wait, I get you a hot dog. You need real better food." And this was so epic. And that shows Marie lovely character, and she really caring about the people around her. That was my feeling when I heard this. And I have the feeling every time on that. Really, that's a really, really fun part, and interesting too that Helena says something like that. That is really wow. It touched me all the time. Really, it's really great story, and that show worthy with Marie was she a person a really nice, caring, lovely person, and she loved everyone in her area, in her air, and this was really, really epic. And I really recommended everyone to listen to your podcast. It's really amazing what stories what you have on this, what you tell about it. Well, you say like a small part, and that's true, yeah. Because you have the great focus on it, you bring all the Roxette community on one point, and that is a guiding light, would I say. Just a guiding light, put you on together, and that is really great, must say. And, when Helena posted the interview on Instagram from you guys, and I say, oh, Roxcast. Yeah, and I say, okay, well, I will look for it, I will listen to it. And I was really fell in love with your way to talk, to asking and stuff. And you made this really great. And was for me too. When I made the first 4 or 6 interviews in my podcast, I need some time to warm with it, I really time to warm with it, to make every interview, and I think that is what was by you too. You need to be warm with the interviews, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that is really, I need, you need something like that to be warm with it, so it's make easier, Yeah. And when I interview celebrities in Germany, it is for me. Is this so like before I'm so excited, and when the day comes and I make the interview, I'm so nervous at all. And after all this 8 years almost, I made my podcast, and I have every time that feeling when I spoke with a celebrity. And it's really great interviews, and I like that. I like that the way and stuff, and it's really great thing to do it, and really great. And that is a great part that you are on Spotify. Spotify is a great, huge platform in our world today. How does the idea to make it on Spotify? I mean that is a extraordinary idea. Most of our people upload it on YouTube. Why Spotify first?
Yeah, well, I have a good friend. I have a good friend named Ben, and he actually has a sports podcast that he does. He posted on Spotify, and I have like a couple other good friends who, because here at the sports journalism school here that I'm at, a lot of people have sports podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they do is they'll talk about sports and they put their podcast on Spotify, like my good friends Ben and Jacob, they have this podcast called The Valley Variety, and they talk just all about sports. They put it on Spotify. So I saw what they were doing. I was like, so I took some inspiration. I thought I go to podcast on Spotify, and actually it's a funny thing. I used to have a sports podcast. I used to have a football, an American football podcast.
Yeah, you like football. You like football very much.
I do absolutely, but I kind of got bored with it, and then and then when Roxette came along, and I said, okay, I'm kind of going to replace, my doing this football thing with Roxette, and I'm very glad that I did, because I enjoy doing the Roxette thing a lot more, and it's much more fun. It's much more just getting to talk to all, just like I said, like I've been saying throughout this whole, thing, and just getting to connect with so many people from all over the world. It's truly an amazing experience. But just kind of thought, put it on Spotify. Why not? And I enjoy Spotify too. It's where it's where I listen to all of Roxette's music. So I thought why not?
Yeah, that is a really great thing to put on Spotify. I like Spotify most as Amazon. I really like Spotify first. You find really all the music that you like and love, and that is so cool. I really listen to Spotify every day. I have a so huge playlist. so not really long, and it's great. It's really great, It's a really great platform. Really great to do it. What have you do with the futures? Have you future project with this podcast? When yeah, can you tell?
That's a really good question about the future of this podcast. I'm gonna just keep on making, really just keep on making this until I get bored of it, and I'm nowhere near bored with this.
Yeah, agree.
At all. I intend to go on with this for as long as I can. 'Cause I love doing it, and really, as long as there's new news, with Pear, Roxette, or GT, because obviously, they're making a comeback. They're going out on tour and making a new album next year. So
They're not can wait 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's whole other new stuff to talk about. And I haven't gotten much into GT. I haven't listened to much of their music. I know some are Teeter. I know some of their hits, but not a whole lot. So I definitely need to dig into more of that stuff. But yeah, really for the future, I'm just gonna continue doing this really, and I don't see this stopping anytime soon. So
no,
I love it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. I love it too. How is this you became host? I mean, did this a thing? What for me is to say, I was 6 years old and I hold a speech on a school, and so yeah, my destiny became a host somewhere to do something. How became you a host? There's a really for first is a natural thing, or you have it in you. Would you say you have is a natural thing, or have you in it?
That's actually another very good question. I've always wanted to go into broadcasting, like I said earlier,
Yeah.
I really want to go into sports broadcasting, whenever whenever I grow up and I would watch, hosts of like talk shows or hosts of sports events, like sports announcers or even game show hosts.
Game shows. Yeah.
I would always really like what they were doing. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
That's something I kind of always wanted to do. So, I don't think really me hosting the podcast is that big of a thing. Like I said, this podcast is not about me. It is about Roxette's music, and it's about the fans. It's about the band. It's about everyone, within Roxette. Not about me. I just to make that clear again.
Yeah.
Not at all. But I just figured, might as well, I guess, I came with the idea, perhaps I should just host it, do the introductions, do the editing and post-production, and, just make everything, just hopefully make everything sound good. But, like I said, the magic comes from the people that I talk to. So
yeah, the stories, the unique stories that you tell, that is really your main point. Yeah, your main point on this whole. My next question is, what is your favorite episode or story so far that you heard on your podcast? Tell me.
That's really tough, because like I've been saying, everyone has their own unique stories. You see, because Elena had just so many great stories. Like the one you just mentioned. Elena had so many great stories. Stefan Overman, he had so many wonderful stories from touring and just and really helping out in the making of certain Roxette songs. He has some incredible stories. Patricia and Thomas, I mean they've been Roxette fans their whole lives, and they're still covering the music to this day. They had great stories. Edward Flynn, who's a Roxette fan, he had great stories about seeing Roxette on tour here in the States. And really how their music really impacted his life. Stephanie Strecker, she's like an artist and stuff, and she had great stories. I can go on. I'm like I said, I'm probably forgetting something. Brian, like I said, he worked a Roxette show, I mean, that's something really cool. They say that,
Yeah.
you're a fan and you're working at the show as an usher. Like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, like, gosh, I'm probably forgetting, some episodes, but the fans have just so many great stories. Pear, obviously, the most recent episode. I mean, that was a dream come true to talk to him.
How was it for you?
Oh, it was incredible. It was amazing getting to talk to an absolute legend and truly my all-time favorite singer-songwriter. I mean, that's something that I'll never forget.
True.
And his stories about making the songs, and about just seeing how Pop Up Dynamo, kind of came together. Talk to him about that. Just amazing stuff. So I can't really pick because like I said, every single one has their own unique story. So I don't really have a favorite. I just, it's hard to pick. I'll say that every single person has their own unique story in that. Yeah, that's
true. How was it for you? And that's my last question. How it was for you to hear Pop Up Dynamo? Tell me your feelings.
It was amazing, and thank you, by the way, for sending me the early edition that I could listen to here in the States.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that, but it was magical, and I'll admit, it far exceeded the expectations I had. Like, it was just amazing listening to it, and I really truly think that Helena and Dia just did such an amazing job with this.
Yeah, definitely.
They blew me away on this. So.
Me too.
That was my big
takeaway. Yeah, me too. Yeah, it was really a huge blast, and it's really they catch the Roxette spirit and ghost from the first era and put it in the second era, and I think that is a magical thing they do, So, and every track I feel I listen at all, She's there in every track, Really, in every track that you hear Marie too, and that is a really great thing to do. When I listen the full album, I sent Helena a WhatsApp message and I say, "Thank you that you bring Marie on this and to keep a spirit and ghost alive." And she only answered, and this is typical Helena, "I hope so, Ollie, that you would do that." And I say, "Definitely do that." That was really a great thing. And I must say on the tracks, because the Hurt song, I say there's that, and this song is Marie presence really 100%, and really Marie was really special when she sing songs with Hurt in it in a title, and you hear her spirit and her ghost, and that is so really great. Willie, must say. How is this for you too, that you hear Marie too in the album?
I would definitely agree there. I definitely feel like her spirit is there. Specifically in You Hurt the One You Love the Most. That was the song that really stuck out to me, as that was like the one that I was like wow, I can I can envision Marie singing this right now. Like I could almost like see it, and I could hear it. I really feel like her spirit was definitely there, and I think it's an album that she would be very proud of. I think,
of course,
I think I think if she was able to like listen to it, if she's listening to it, perhaps in heaven, I think she's very much enjoying it, because I think it's a really beautiful album that was created.
Yeah, I say that to Helena too on the day that when Marie is here, she would be proud of you guys. Definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think Per made the right thing to do, that he continued the journey. It's the best thing to honor Marie and all the work that she done before. And it's my hope that I all have all the time. And when the album first came out, and whoa, PG Roxette is there. That was my feeling on that. Wow, definitely. Yeah, Sam, let's say thank you so much. We listen on Saturday again for your podcast. I can't wait to spoke with you.
Of course.
And that would become really epic when you ask me when we talk about it.
Hey man, well, I'm looking forward to that, man. That'll be a lot of fun, and thank you for having me on this, man. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you, man. It's really appreciate to talk with you, and I'm sure we have Saturday fun more. I will send you the documentary after our call, and you can please watch it. It's really worth it, and it's really background history for you to know on the Roxette history. So, Sam, thank you that you joined me on Hoodie Place Resurrection, and see you on Saturday. Take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
Like a legend. See you next time. Make it iconic. We ain't gonna stop till the sun rises. Make it iconic.